Your speakers don't sound good. No, this ain't the most recent one. May 5th. Are you kidding? I haven't done a run of shows since May 5th. That don't seem right. I'm having a hard time with that one. You have to prove that. You are going to have to prove that. How did that happen? I do this every fucking week. I did a replay last week. I did a replay for Mother's Day. That would have been the 12th. Did I do a replay on the 12th? No, I did nothing on the 9th. On the 12th, I did a replay on the 19th. That's what it was. Shit. Wow. We can't be doing that. Can't be doing that. What does God have to say about your work? Right on that side. Okay. 10. Oh. Oh, the dude. Matthew 21-16. What I want. This is what I want. Oh, this is good. This is good. The changing landscape. Yes, that's good. Oh, this is good. That's the message. Thank you. Thank you for loving me so good. Hey, Kurt, thank you very much for letting me know that I am live. Thank you. Great rising to you, brother Kurt. Perfect. All right, let's get it. Oh, I already did that. Okay. What's up? What other pillow are you talking about, baby? Two matching pillows in there. What kind of pillows? What you talking about? Put the thing on the top of it. Oh, you put yours like down the side or something. I saw that. The one that you got me laying on mine. You put that back on the bed.
10:55 a.m.
Wow. I'm coming, y'all. I'm aware that I am live. I'm aware that I'm live because that's just how Facebook treat me, y'all. That's how Facebook treats me. But give me a moment. Let me get my last spot up and running. Let me get my last spot up and running so I could see myself. There we go. Because I need to be able to see myself, right? And Facebook be like, child, I don't know if it's Facebook or my computers. It could be a combination of the two conspiring together to to make me look crazy. But it's all good. It's all good in the hood. It's all good in the hood. Give me one moment, y'all, because I got you. I got something so juicy for you today. Ooh, y'all is gonna be like, what? I didn't know God had nothing to say about that. Yes, God got something to say about that right there, that boy. God got something to say about that. I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret too. I'm gonna tell y'all a little tiny secret. Let me tell you the little tiny secret, what the little tiny secret is. The little tiny secret is that I was gonna name this something else. Oh, yes, Celebrity Goddess Empress Berry. That will be me. Thank you. Hey, boo. How you doing? Hey, I'm taking all that. Give it all to me, Kurt. Yes, I love it. Hey, Dr. Don. Hey, Kurt. How y'all doing? Hey, Jamie. Yo, Jamie sent me a message this morning that really, really, really got my engines revved up. I just want y'all to know that I love my girl. I love my girl, Jamie. Yes, I do. Why is this moving? This one, the other computer is moving very slowly, like it is trying to not let me be great, but y'all know that can't happen, right? Let me tell y'all a little tiny secret. I almost, when you hear the sermon, when you hear the word, you're going to know why I almost did it. You're going to know why I almost did it. But I almost called this what God got to say about you telling other people what to do with their money. But I was like, I don't want nobody to be mad. I want y'all to hear this word. I don't want to be, I ain't trying to, kick people in the teeth or nothing. I just want y'all to hear this word, okay? Because God got something to say about all this. Something is happening here. I don't know why this one's going so slow. I'm about to walk away from it in a hot second. I'm about to just walk away, but I don't want to leave some of y'all hanging, and some people will be left hanging if I don't tag this other profile. All right, got it. Good Lord. Good Lord. That took a little minute, but that's okay. That's okay. That's all right. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. Because I'm back, baby. Good morning, y'all. How y'all doing? This is Celebrity Mary, and this, of course, is the most segregated hour of the week, 11 a.m. So you know what that means. This is the MoneyFest Destiny Show. It's a gospel of money because money is your God-given right. It's a different kind of Bible study, y'all. We do this each and every Sunday at the most segregated hour, 11 a.m. We rebroadcast again on Sundays at 6 p.m., the same show, and then again on Thursdays at 12 p.m. I got a call-in number for you. And you know, some of y'all, I know somebody in particular who might want to call in on this today, because we talking about what God got to say about certain things. So here is the call-in number is 669-900-6833. Your webinar ID is 766-687-876, and your participant ID is the number 40. Okay, that's your number. You got to hit me up, give me some feedback, let me know if I'm hitting the marks that you want me to hit, let me know what you want me to talk about in upcoming weeks, let me know if you think that I should I love my people. I love my girls. I love my girls. My girls say kick y'all in the teeth because y'all got to cut the foolishness out. Let me know, though, if you think, I know this is typically not an interview show, but let me know if you think I should have somebody on, if there's somebody you think that we may have to have some conversation about some things, okay? Let me know about that. Of course, you know, to stay until the end, because I always have announcements about business credit and other juicy stuff that I got coming out this year in the 2019. Oh, by the way, I will be in Atlanta this week, just letting y'all know. This show, of course, has caveats, warnings, and disclaimers. Now, y'all will know ain't no other shows doing that. I better not catch y'all out here thieving and stealing and trying to do what I'm doing, because you know you can't do it like me. But you can't do it like me. Anyway, the first caveat, warning, and disclaimer is do not assume that a person is lying just because you've not ever heard the teaching before now. The opinions expressed on this show are those of the speakers and not necessarily those of the show, and any advice that's given is based on personal experience and independent research by the speaker. So engage at your own risk. Today's show, the title of today's show is what does God have to say about the changing workscape? Now, again, that's the polite title, because the title that I wanted to give it in the first place is what does God have to say about y'all always trying to tell people what to do with their money? Can we talk about that a little bit? Can we talk about that a little bit? And you know who it always is who wants to tell other people what to do with their money? People who ain't got no money. People who ain't got no money love to tell people who got money what they should do with their money. Hold on a minute. Let me mute over here. Oh my goodness gracious. Yes, I love hearing myself in stereo, but come on, dog. Y'all gotta these delays, they not fun. So anyway, that's what we talking about today. So of course, before I get into the show, I'm gonna frame us up. And I'm gonna do it real fast because I can't wait to get to this here word today, y'all. This show is based on the imbalances, hey Donna, thank you for joining. I appreciate you, love. Based on the imbalances that we experience in our world today. We live in a global economy. Let's not act like we don't know that, okay? We live in a global economy, but I am talking about what specifically goes on right here in these here United States. There is an inequitable distribution of wealth, and it is divided amongst 4 classes of workers. Those workers are the poor, the working class, the wealthy, and the elite. Now, we know that there are children being born right now who will never, ever, 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 ever in their lives ever complete a job application or work for a living. Those children belong to the wealthy and the elite, and they make up about 5% of the world's population, and they share about 95% of the world's wealth. Then we know that there's some children being born right now who will only work for a living. They are the children of the poor and the working class, and they make up about 95% of the world's population and sharing about 5% of the world's wealth. Now, I know I'm talking fast, so let me break this down to you. If I got $100 and 100 people in the room, and I divide it up based on how we got our current systems of commerce set up, I'm going to separate the room into 95 and 5. The 5 people over here, I'm going to get them 95 of those dollars. And the 95 people over here, I'm going to get them 5 of those dollars. And then I'm going to tell everybody, divide it up however you think is fair for all of you. And what do you think is going to happen? That's how our commerce system is currently set up. These here United States make up about 6%, 5 or 6% of the world's population, but we consume about 85% of the world's resources. What does that suggest to you? If the world is divided into basically the haves and the have-nots, right? And this is not an equal division. This is 95 and 5. And out of all of that, there are about out of 100% of resources, 85% of those resources are being used by about 8%, somewhere between 5 and 8% of the world's population. What is that telling you? What story is being said right now? Well, I'll tell you how I interpret it. What I recognize is that there are most of the wealth is here in the United States. That's going to blow your mind, because you might be feeling like, shoot, I don't feel like I got no wealth, but I guarantee you most of it is here. And the job of the United States of America, sitting here on one of the 7 continents, what our job of the earth, what our job is to be consumers. We are here to buy stuff. That's what this whole situation is. That's our job. So if we're consuming 85% of the world's resources, but we only make up about 8% of the world's population, we got to have a whole lot of the world's money. But a lot of us don't feel like we wealthy. We're going to talk about that. Current trajectories, predictions, and trends say that we are going to find ourselves in a majority country by about 2050, I think is what it is. And what that means is those who are the majority white families will become the minority, which is right now Black and brown families. But what is going to happen if the current trajectory stays as is, and we do not disrupt this, then those white families will continue on their trajectory, which is they will always have 6 figures worth of wealth, while Black and Latino families, Black and brown families are anticipated or expected to have about 0 wealth by 2053. So by the time that flip is happening in terms of the population, the flip in the wealth gap is going to increase, and Black and brown families are going to have no wealth, 0 wealth, meaning things that they can pass on, right? So folks will still be alive. People still going to be working. You still going to be able to make money, but people are not going to have anything to pass on, because that's what wealth is, right? By 2053, okay? And these, I'm not making this stuff up. I'm getting these statistics from different places, and I can share that with you later. I'm rushing through this because I want to get to the message. Hey, Diva, good to see you, love. Thank you very much for joining. So, the thing I want you to pay particular attention to today's message, because the way that we acquire the way that we acquire income, which is one of the ways that we inform wealth, has changed. It's changed, y'all. Get over it. Let it go. All this bring the jobs back. It's changed. Accept that so that you can move forward. If you are a person who is a driver, a roofer, an accountant, a paralegal, a cashier, a credit analyst, a loan officer, a telemarketer, if you're doing any of those jobs, salary.com predicts that AI is going to get rid of your job for you. Have you already seen that there are some places where you can go where not only are the cashiers machines, not only are the cashiers run by AI, but your food is actually being prepared by machines. That's happening right now today. There are cars right now today that can drive themselves. They're being tested in the market. They're on the road right now today. There are parts of the logistical supply chain, the global logistical supply chain that's completely automated. So just let it go. Recognize that the jobs are not coming back. And the truth is, you don't really want those jobs to come back. You want to be on the leading edge of what's coming up next, because this thing has changed. Things are different, and we gotta let ourselves recognize that that's what it is and get on board with it. Don't fight this. Don't keep kicking at the spikes. You know, that's what that's what the word says. That's what the Bible says. Don't keep kicking at the spikes. But I want to tell y'all, I want to talk to y'all today. Hey, Willie, thank you very much for joining. I want to talk to y'all today. Hold on one moment, because I need to make this a little bit bigger so I can see when people come in and be responding to stuff. Yes, Dr. Don said, get y'all shit together, which actually she said, get y'all ish together, but you know, I don't mind cussing, so I be saying the real cuss words. Yeah, get y'all stuff together, because the truth of the matter is, again, these jobs are gone. They're not coming back. Be happy with that. Believe me, you don't want them jobs coming back. Hey, Terrell, thank you very much for joining. So today's verse, you know, we have a foundational scripture. So let me make sure that I say that, and make sure that you know, if you're new to this broadcast, that you know that I teach straight out of the Bible. I go straight to the Bible to say what God has to say about money. That's what this show is all about. This is a different kind of Bible study, y'all. This is I'm talking to you straight from the word, no filter, no chaser. This is what God has to say about money. Like I said in my description, money is the second most discussed topic in the Bible after only God. So God, being all knowing, all powerful, all present, ever present, knows that if you're going to be here in this mundane 3D land that we call Earth, you're going to need you some money. And if you call yourself a believer, if you call yourself a Christian, if you believe that Jesus Christ is God in the flesh, came to the earth, lived, was crucified, buried, rose again, ascended into heaven, and now sits at the right hand of the Father so that he can make ever intercession for you, then you best believe that you got some work to do in this world, and you're going to need some money to do it. Now, I know y'all done heard a whole lot of other scriptures with pastors and preachers and other people done told you that. I saw this on, I'm going to tell y'all about that later. But people done told you it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to get into heaven, so that you would feel better about being broke. Here on earth, we use money. And the only way you're going to get your work done in this earth is with some money. So we finna stop playing. We finna stop acting like, you know, the reason to get this word and get the, you know, do these things, and just you can have a shake and a jump for a few minutes and you can feel good for a few minutes, but get this work. If you're here to do the work of the Lord, then let's do the work of the Lord. Okay. So the scriptures that I read from are out of the New American Standard Version of the Bible. I like the NASB. I like the plain speak. This message is designed to be easily understood and digested. I am here to deliver the word. I'm not here to do the thing that you get taught to do when you go to certain, you know, religious schools and whatnot. I'm here to get a word. That's all I'm here to do. And I love doing this show. That's the message that Jamie sent to me this morning. She was like, she's in another time zone today than she normally is. And she wanted to make sure that I was doing this here show because she liked it. And the truth of the matter is, I really enjoy doing this show. I will do this show if I don't do anything else during the week. I like this show a lot. So NASB, this is our foundational scripture. It is Proverbs 22:17. It says, incline your ear and hear the words of the wise and apply your mind to knowledge. In other words, be open to hearing new information and be prepared to apply new information in your life. Some of this may not even be new, but you probably haven't acted on it before. Now is the time. Here is your opportunity to do what thus saith the Lord. Okay? So today's scripture, y'all, today's scripture is coming from, if you got your Bible, go with me, sir, ma'am, to Matthew 20, number 1 through 16. I knew y'all knew what I was talking about, right? You knew what I was coming to say. You knew what it was. You know what it is. You know what it is. You know what the word got to say about what God got to say about this changing workscape. The workscape changes. It's supposed to. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to break it down for you like this. I may take a little liberty with some of the words just so you can understand it in today's context, but I assure you that this is exactly what's in this here Bible, okay? So Jesus is giving a parable. He's talking to his disciples. These words here, they are in red. You know, I love to go into the Gospels and pull out the words of the Christ himself, because I think one of the reasons that the messages from the word have become so convoluted and have been able to so successfully be used to bury us is because a lot of times we don't even listen to the man. If you are a student of the Bible, if you just heard of the Bible, then you know that the point of the Bible is Jesus. Jesus Christ, the man God, fully man, came to earth for you and for me, right? That's the point of the Bible. But whenever you know someone is giving you a lesson out of the Bible, they want to talk to you about what everybody except Jesus had to say. So I really like to go in here and dig down and get into the Gospels and talk about what Jesus himself said, because the Bible calls him our example. From beginning to end, from Genesis to Revelations, the whole Bible is all about Jesus, how he got here, what he did when he came, and what happened after he left. So this is what the man had to say. Matthew 21-16. I hope I gave you time enough to go get your Bibles. He says, "For the kingdom of heaven is like when a landowner goes out early in the morning to hire laborers for his vineyard." So Matthew 20 and 2, I'm gonna go all the way through this, okay? When he had agreed with the laborers for the denarius for the day, he sent them into his vineyard. Now, a denarius just means a day's wages. So a day's wages is a day's wages. And at that time, it will be something like what we consider the minimum wage. So if you agree that the day's wages today is going to be, So Diva says, "I'm here to learn about making money. Don't mind the context so long as I find another stream." Got it. I got you, sis. So a denarius is, like I said, it could be, it will be the equivalent of a set amount. It's a set amount. It's the day's wages. So some of us make, $100 a day. Some of us make $500 a day. Some of us make $40 a day. It just depends on where you living and how you living, right? So let's say that the denarius for this is $100. I think is a reasonable amount of money for a day's work, depending on what you're doing. Now, me myself, I'm a little bit on the greedy side. So I'm gonna say that for me it's different. But if you out here, you a laborer, it's not unusual, or I don't think that it is unreasonable or unusual to make $100 a day. So let's say that's what it is. All right. So let's say, so when he agreed with the laborers for a denarius for the day, or $100 for the day, he sent them into the vineyard. Now he went out early in the morning. For them, early in the morning would be like 6 a.m. Right. Then he went out again at about the third hour. The third hour would be 9 a.m. He saw these people standing around at Home Depot. They weren't doing nothing. And he was like, "Yo, y'all want some work? I got this vineyard over here. And whatever is right, I'll pay it to you." And they was like, "All right, then." And they went. Then he went back again at 12 o'clock and at 3 o'clock. He did the same thing. And then at the 11th hour, which is about 5 o'clock, he went and he back at Home Depot, and there's still people standing around. And he was like, "Why y'all been standing around here idle all day?" And they was like, "Look, ain't nobody hired us." And he said to them, "All right, I'm going to bring y'all out to the vineyards too." When the evening came, which is about 6 o'clock, it's time to shut it down. And he told the foreman, "Look, call the laborers and pay them what they, pay them their day's wages. Everybody getting $100. So he said, start with the last group, the people that just got here, 5 o'clock people. Now the people who came, they got the 5 o'clock people got their $100. They happy. They went on by their business. When the 6 a.m. people showed up, though, they thought they was gonna get paid more than $100 because they've been out there since 6 o'clock this morning. They don't work the whole 12-hour shift. And he gave them $100 too. And when they saw this, they was like, "Hold on, homeboy, I ain't really feeling this. Them people over there only been here for 1 hour, and you made them equal to us when you gave them $100. But we bore the whole burden of the day, not even to mention the scorching heat of the day." And he said to them, friend, hold on now. Ooh, this is the good part. This is the jelly right here. He said to them, "Friend, I'm not doing anything wrong to you. didn't you agree with me that you would work for $100? He said, now take your money, man, and go on about your business, because I wish to give to this last man the same as to you. Is it not lawful? And can't I do with my money what I want to do with my money? Or are you jealous because I'm generous? And Jesus says, just like that, in heaven, so the last shall be first and the first shall be last. Hot diggity dog. Let's go back up into this part right here where Jesus said, the man said, hey, I ain't doing nothing wrong. Didn't you agree to work for $100? You didn't say anything about the conditions. You didn't say anything about if I brought in more laborers. You didn't say none of that. What you said was, yes, I will work for $100. So here go your $100, bruh. Go in peace. I want to give this man $100 too. Think about this for a second. This landowner went out. He spent his entire workday. The landowner spent the entire workday finding workers, finding laborers to go back and help with the workload. So yes, even though these guys were out there earlier, even though they were out there during the time of the day when it was the hottest, even though they were out there at the time of doing this work, he was continuing to bring in people to help with the load. That's his job as the CEO, as the overseer, as the owner. He has a specific thing that he wants to get done, which is he wants to get these fruit in from the vineyard. So he has his own agenda and his own reason why he's doing what he's doing. And what his agenda happens to benefit other people. He goes the whole day, he's going out and he's getting people who need work. These people standing around at the marketplace, what Home Depot for us, right? They want to work. These people want to work. They're not standing out there with cups begging. They looking for work. Nobody hired him. So all day he was going out there. He went every 3 hours. Every time there was an adjustment in the shift, he went out. So even though those people who only worked for an hour, they helped to lighten the burden of the people who had worked since 6 o'clock. And again, the people who had worked at 6 o'clock, they had already agreed not to an amount of labor, but to an amount of money. Thank you, Willie. I appreciate that. They had agreed to work for an amount of money. So you can't change the rules of engagement. You can't change the terms of your contract when it's time to pay. The time to change, if they wanted to do something different, then they could have said something like, I see you bringing all these people out here, to help us. Maybe we need to talk about how much we're going to get paid at the end of the day. Because from his perspective, look, I brought you help. You didn't have to do this whole vineyard by yourself. But this dude is like, shit, it was hot. We did a lot of work. I've been out here for 12 hours and you paying them the same as me. You don't get to tell somebody what to do with their money. That's the real point of this thing. That's the real point. Is that the real point? It's one of the real points. It's definitely one of the real points. But the real point, the point that I wanted to make evident here is that the workscape has changed. People, the workscape has changed. God has an example for every single situation that's going on in your life right now today. Hey, Alfonso. Hey, Anquiette. Hey, Greg. Thank you all for joining. Hey, Candy. Thank you for joining. Hi, Dion. Good to see you, love. Haven't seen you in a long time. The workscape has changed, and you want the workscape to change. The workscape changing actually helps to make the burden a little bit lighter for some of the people that are in the workforce. Workscape changing is good for everybody. It's good for everybody. So we got two messages rolled up neatly into this one parable that Jesus came and talked to us about. I know when most people preach about this, they talk just about the fact that these people who worked the longer part of the day was complaining that they were getting paid the same amount as the people who worked, the shorter part of the day. But they never really pay attention to the fact that the people who work the shorter part of the day still lighten the load for the people who have been working out there all day. Very few people pay attention to the fact that the owner of the vineyard went out and got help for them. Very few people pay attention to that. Sure, the landowner could have said, listen, it's only an hour left. So instead of $100 for the day, I'm just going to pay you $20. The truth of the matter is he still would have been being fair. He still would have been being generous. those people still would have been grateful for the $20. But you don't know what his reason is, except that he said he's a generous person. And I feel like he probably telling the truth. He's a generous person. So he wanted to make sure that everybody eat. How you going to get mad with somebody like that? How you going to have an issue with that? And how are you now going to say, see, for me, it's like, okay, take the lesson. Take the lesson, release the emotion. Receive the lesson. You can say to somebody, if the workman come and hire you at 6 o'clock in the morning, say, bruh, yes, I work for Daenerys, but I'm going to stop work at 3 o'clock. Is that cool with you? And if it's agreeable, it's agreed. It's real, this easy. This don't have to be hard. You don't have to get mad with somebody about their money. You know, when I started my business, I used to actually have a problem asking for the money. I used to actually, it may be hard to believe now, but a lot of entrepreneurs have the issue of asking for the money. I used to have a problem with setting my prices to make it equitable. This is what I mean by that, where it is, I am being properly compensated for my time, my talent, and the treasure of my knowledge. I'm being properly compensated, and my client is receiving value. I used to have a real issue with that for a lot of reasons. The primary reason being that as a new entrepreneur, I just didn't know what I was doing. And I was setting prices and doing work based on money that I thought I needed. I need to pay a bill, so I need to go out into this marketplace and find me, a couple $100. So I run a special real quick and give somebody a discount to do the full package, to do the whole work. And then when the work is finished and the money is spent, I'm feeling depleted, and I'm looking at them like, damn, now you know you should have paid more. You should have paid more. You know that what you got is worth way more than what you paid. But how can I now go back to these people and say, listen, that day I just needed the money. So I'm going to need you to pay that difference, to pay that short. Because, yeah, we paid this particular bill. You see how silly that's beginning to sound? Even trying to come up with a scenario where you make up some craziness like that. Even it just is, it's silly. You can't go back and decide, well, yeah, I know that we agreed to this, but since I need some more money, I'm gonna need you to do such and such and thus and so. A lot of entrepreneurs have that issue. A lot of entrepreneurs, especially when they're young in their career, don't know how to go and ask for the money. They don't know how to set their prices. They don't know how to hire clients. Let me tell you, this a little bit off subject. But it's still on topic. The first time I had to fire a client, and this is what I mean by fire a client. Somebody was talking to me crazy, and I'm like, who you think you're talking to? And I was like, this between me and you is not going to work. So here is your money back. I'm not even trying to get back from you what I gave you. Just, I want you gone. This money is worth my peace of mind. Getting rid of this money is worth every cent to get rid of you. The first time I did that, I felt like I had been liberated. I felt like I had been set free from bondage that I didn't even know I was in, right? Dr. Don says they don't know how to value themselves or their work. I didn't. In the beginning, I didn't. I was following my mentor. I was setting prices like my mentor. My mentor had far more experience than I did. I had ideas, but I was unsure. How to move forward. And I'm going to tell you something else. I was trying to not be offensive to my mentor. I was trying to leave myself in a situation. I was stunting my own growth. I was wanting to do it the way that I was taught it, but one of the things that my mentor kept telling me is, this is your business. So what really was happening was I was afraid. I didn't know. I just didn't know. It was 4 figures worth of bread that I gave him back. Dr. Don was there. Dr. Don and I. Lord Jesus, if we wanted to do a scripted show called The Adventures of Celebrity Mary and Dr. Don Vonti, trust me when I tell you, networks will pick it up. The networks will pick it up. We have been through some times. We have seen some things out here in this here marketplace. When I tell you, me and Dr. Don done been through some situations. And in that case, that day, when all that was going on, when that was happening, this dude is like snapping on me. Snapping, not because I did not deliver. He had actually gotten his service from me. It wasn't because I had not delivered. It was because he wanted to steal from me. He wanted me to let him, he wanted me to let him see how I did what I did. And he was using the guise of, he was trying to use the cover of, I'm going to help you. I was moving at the time. And he was like, if you need my labor, I'll come through. He told 3 different lies on the phone while she's listening. And his dude is snapping on me because I'm saying, look, I ain't really all that enthusiastic and excited about letting you come to my crib. Even though I was moving out of the house, I'm still maintaining my residence in Atlanta. And he wants to come and help me move because he wants me to sit down in front of him and show him all the things that I did. He had already gotten his product. I had already delivered everything to him the day before. And what's really funny is if he did not have his own nefarious agenda, he would have gotten the very thing that he was looking for from me on that Saturday. He would have gotten it on Friday because I was actually trying to give it to him on Friday. I was trying to explain to him what he needed to do on Friday, which would have uncovered what it was that he was trying to see on Saturday. But he was so blinded by his own, like I said, nefarious ambitions that he couldn't even let you. Thank Jesus. Thank you, God. Thank you, universe, for always looking out for me. He couldn't even see it. He was blinded by his own foolishness. So yeah, when he started talking crazy to me, and I was still trying to, he was actually beating me down in the spirit. I can't even front, y'all. I'm so glad that Dr. Don was with me because he was beating me down in the spirit. If you ever been to church, you know what that's like, where he was, talking loud and talking hard and talking over me. And I was like, but no, but you don't understand, and Dr. Don was like, hold up. This is not what we finna do right now. Hey, Amin, good to see you, sir. Long time. She was like, this is not what we finna do right now. This dude told 3 different lies in that instance, like back to back. Anyway, I can't tell y'all that whole story because I ain't into the drama. And his folk, people know who he is. Folks know who he is. His folk know who he is. His folk know what they did. His folk know the reason that that went down the way that it did. And his folk was still trying to act like, like I didn't understand. But anyway, yes, when I fired that client, I found freedom in my business. I learned a few things. Dr. Don was like, she did. She wanted me to cuss him out, and I should have. It would have been good. I probably would have felt better. It took me a while to feel good, to get to a place, because even in that moment, I didn't understand what I was doing. And this is what I was getting ready to say. God showed me a few things. First of all, God showed me that I could trust him. God showed me that if I let that go, he would take care of all my financial situations. And when I tell you, I came back to Virginia with more money than I had, left, than I was getting from him, about 3 times more, right? When I tell you God showed up and showed out on my behalf, when I chose myself, when I chose my peace of mind, when I chose my emotional self, Dr. Dawn did. She was right there with me. Trust me, y'all. That lady been holding my hand through a lot of crazy stuff. I tell you, the adventures of the Celebrity Mary, Dr. Dawn, the Celebrity Mary. Hey, Alex, thank you very much for joining. So yeah, universe showed me that God showed me that I could trust him. God showed me that I don't have to take shit for money. That was my first real emotional understanding of my own value, and that I am the money. the money was not the little pieces of paper that he put in my hand or that we transferred between accounts. The money is me. The money is the value that I bring to the situation. The money is my time, my talent, my treasure of knowledge. That's the money. But I didn't realize that at the time. I had, you know it intellectually, but when you get a thing down in your heart, when you get that thing deep down in your spirit, that is when you can really make a turn in your business. And again, like I said, back, when I, in my early days of entrepreneurship, I had all kinds of issues. I didn't know how to value myself. I didn't know how to value my products. I didn't know how to ask for the money. I felt all kinds of ways. So last week or last month, I think it was, ABC relaunched. They did live versions of Dr. Don. I appreciate that, Dr. Don. I appreciate that. I did. I gave him his money back, and I did it when I said I was going to do it. Just how I said I was going to do it. I meant it. So, but anyway, let me tell y'all something. I watched ABC did live before studio audience. They did a recast version of All in the Family and The Jeffersons. Now, we talked about this once before. We talked about it with Good Times, another Norman Lear show, where TV had been used for a long time to condition us, to train us, to teach us certain things. I saw these shows the other day. It's live action. It was live before studio audience. There was Jamie Foxx. There was Kerry Wilson, Wanda Sykes, Will Ferrell, Ike Barinholtz. There's a few people that we know, Anthony Anderson, a few people that we know who did these scripts. They didn't change the scripts. These are the exact same scripts that were on TV back in the 1970s when this show was on TV. These are the exact same scripts, same words, same mannerisms, the whole thing. Woody Harrelson, all of them in there, right? And one of the things, so Jimmy Kimmel and Norman Lear did this together. I think they executive produced it together. And to open the show, they said, like, listen, you're gonna hear some language, because this is how it was back in the day. Like, they didn't say the N-word back in the day. They said nigga. They said nigger, nigger, whatever. They said it. They didn't say the N-word, because the people that do stuff out in this world, they don't say the N-word. They say the word, okay? So there's like, look, there's gonna be some language in here. It's gonna be some situations. We haven't changed anything, right? So I'm watching. First, they did All in the Family. All in the Family is, and I didn't realize that George had a brother who started a cleaning business. But anyway, his brother, played by Anthony Anderson, is leaving. They're doing a going away party for him because he's leaving from their neighborhood to go to somewhere else to start these cleaning businesses. And Archie, the lovable bigot who doesn't know he's a bigot, is trying to figure out, like, how whether he finds out what the man is going to be doing. And he's like, wait a minute, how you get money to do that, right? How you get money to start your own business, right? And he's talking to Lionel at first, and Lionel being flip mouth, and he says, well, he just saved all his welfare checks, right? And Archie, of course, is falling for it. He's like, what? He working and he's saving his welfare checks? And Lionel goes, well, haven't you read the papers? That's how we all come up, right? That's how we all get over, some crap like that. So they get a big laugh out of that. Then they come back. They come back together. They're having a party, and Archie finds out that their house is bigger than his. Because remember, this is a white man. And this black family got a 3-bedroom house, and he's only got a 2-bedroom house. And he's trying to figure out, how is this even possible? Anthony Anderson says to him, his character says to him something like, Archie says, he's trying to show that he's not a bigot. And he says some shit like, there's even a black guy who works with him, and check this out, the black guy makes as much money as him. And he's saying that shit like, that's some, we progressive. And Anthony Anderson character says, well, this guy must be twice as smart as you. And Archie's like, wait, how you figure that? And he's like, well, for a black man to make as much money as a white man, he got to be twice as smart as the white man, right? So these are some of the tropes that have been put out to us and some of the things that we learned, right? Let's get on over to the Jeffersons. They done moved on up, right? So now it's not the brother, but George and Wheezy. It's not Henry, it's George and Wheezy. This is an episode. This is the episode when Weezy got to get a maid. This is when they introduce Florence and whatnot. But none of that is here nor there. Let me tell you what messed my head up in that show, in that episode. Helen and Tom are trying to convince Louise that she should get a maid, right? Like, I didn't know the apartment was this big. The apartment got 4 bathrooms. So I don't know how many, if they got 5 bedrooms, I don't know. They got 4 bathrooms though. So maybe it's a 3, 4, who knows? But the apartment is big, and the Willises, played by Will Ferrell and Kerry Washington, are trying to help Louise understand that, yeah, you need a maid. Like, you don't need to be around here doing all this stuff. So Louise was like, I worked as a domestic before. I worked a couple days cleaning up places, and I just don't feel good about doing that, right? I don't feel like I should be doing that. And the other part of the conversation was, there was a lady who she befriended in the building who was a maid, and that lady thought she was a maid because she was doing her laundry and stuff like that. So anyway, they met while they each were doing laundry. So anyway, Helen and Tom are just laughing. They're doing the fake rich people laugh, right? And this is what they're laughing about. They are laughing about things. This is the thing that blew my mind, because I had never heard this before. But they basically laughing about the concept that a poor man is a rich man's idea. They laughing about that, and this is what they were saying. Louise is telling Helen how she feels bad about getting a maid and all of this other stuff, and Helen says to her, I think Louise has said something about the Bible saying it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle and all this other stuff about rich people can't get into heaven. And Archie and them had that conversation as well earlier in the Bunker show. They had that conversation as well, that very same Bible verse. So they're having that conversation, and Helen says, "Oh, Louise, that is that's not true. Those are things that they tell poor people so that poor people feel better about not having money." And they start laughing, right? Hey, Bertho, thank you very much for joining. And then Helen and Tom start going back and forth with all of the different things that people say to justify being poor and broke. The thing that stood out the most to me, because I had never heard it before, was this one. She said, they said, I got plenty of nothing, and nothing is plenty for me. And my jaw hit the floor. I was like, what? And they were laughing. Oh, they was cracking up. It's better to give than to receive. And they were cracking up. Remember, the Willises were very wealthy. They all lived in this building. They all were very wealthy people. Helen didn't work either. Neither Helen nor Louise worked. And they just was living their life. And Helen was like, Louise, trust me, you are going to get used to it, girl. You just gotta let yourself, enjoy it. Just enjoy the fact that you're now wealthy. Enjoy the fact that you're now rich. Get you a maid, girl. But when I tell you, I have to look at it. I'm gonna see if I can find a clip of it, because when I tell you that I was just flabbergasted. I could not believe that this happened on TV in this way. So what was throwing me off about it is, of course, I had seen the episode before, but I never caught what Helen and Tom had said. I never caught that. It never was meaningful to me because I didn't have a correct understanding of money. I was raised just like most people who are not of means to believe that there was something wrong with having a whole lot of money. I have since, of course, changed my position on that. And I have every intention of making sure that my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, and any other, down to the 999th generation, understand that if you're going to live here on this here earth, you need you some money. And I'm going to show you how to get it. I'm going to make sure that you have it. When I leave here, let me tell you the truth. Let's just deal with a few truths right here. And then I'm going to get back to this text. The life that you have today is very likely a direct result of what your grandparents and great-grandparents did before you got here. If your grandparents, great-grandparents, and on, if your generations did not create generational wealth, meaning things that were passed down from that generation to you. If they did not do that for you, you had to start from scratch. And it is extremely unlikely that you have set up and set aside situations where your children and your grandchildren will be better off, because everybody is just scratching and surviving. We just trying to move on up. You trying to pay your bills. You cannot think about what you're leaving for your grandchildren. You know what you want to give them. You know what you want to do for them, and you know what you got to do on a day in and day out basis in order to make sure that they stay alive, right? But when it comes to figuring out or determining what this generational wealth is going to look like, what this family is going to look like, when it comes to that, what have you done to that end? What have you put in place already? Do you have insurance policies? Do you have actual insurance instruments in your wealth portfolio right now? And are you making those premiums on a monthly basis? Are you doing that? Now, I don't sell insurance. I ain't got no dog in that fight. I ain't got no quarter in that nickel. I ain't got no nickel in that quarter. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. But do you have insurance policies? Do you have insurance policies that will help you to be protected against loss while you still live in this life, aside from your car insurance? Do you have renter's insurance? Do you have homeowner's insurance aside from, your mortgage insurance? Are you named as the beneficiary on your homeowner's insurance policy, or is the bank, is the mortgage holder? Do you have old insurance policies at your jobs that you've left from before? Because they tend to keep those, right? They tend to keep those. Diva, I don't know what that is. Just a link. You ain't put no description on it. So what's that for? Do you have life insurance policies? Do you have term policies that will cover your final expenses? Do you have whole life policies, universal life policies, or cash value, otherwise known as cash value policies, that can help you to live the life that you want to live while you're here on this earth, because you can pull cash value out of them right now? Do you have those? Thank you, love. Wheezy is made. Do you have those policies right now? Do you have a situation where if you need to, or if you wanted to, you can go and pull $250,000 out of that policy so that you can go and make some investments? Do you have those things on hand right now? Speaking of investments, are you invested in anything? Have you purchased assets, or are you only dealing with liabilities? Your house and your car, those are liabilities. Cars depreciate as soon as you drive off the lot, so they say. I haven't seen it proved differently. People are still arguing that houses that you live in, that you have a mortgage on, is an asset, when in fact it is 100% a liability. Why is it a liability? It is a liability because you pay for the house every month. The house is not paying you anything. So it's a liability. I mean, that's the very definition. Are you doing those things? Are you putting those things into place right now? Do you have passive income? Do you have things that are out there in the world making money for you even while you're sleeping? Do you have like an online store someplace? Do you have things that have been published under your name? Are you a network marketer where you're creating residual income for yourself? Do you have other people on your team who are still working and bringing people in, even if you are not working as hard as you had been, and you still getting them checks on a regular basis? What are you doing? 7 streams of income is what most people recognize as kind of the de facto, this is what you must have in order to build wealth. But that doesn't necessarily mean 7 jobs. If you were in the money school, you would know that. In the money school, we teach you a whole lot of stuff for free. All the stuff that I just said, we talk about that over in the money school. We over in the money school getting Forex training. We those of us who are in the money attraction course, we're being trained how to look at charts of activity that's happening in the market, price action that's happening in the market right now, and understanding how we can go in and pull out our portion of $5.7 trillion every single day, 5 days a week. On the weekends, it's just crypto, so it's a little bit less than that, but we still know how to go get it. We know exactly what to look for. This is what we over here in this money school learning. Dr. Don, if you are here, can you please post your Patreon? Because that is also a way that you can, that's not the money, that's Dr. Don specifically. And I promote her stuff. Thank you, Jamie, for the posting the money school. If you're not in the money school, y'all get in the money school. Get in the money school. It's free to be over there, and all the stuff that you need to be learning about how to create wealth and cause it to be generational wealth is in the money school, and we're doing most of that for free. We do charge for some stuff. Hell, I have a whole class that I do called financial self-defense. Did you know that you could use business credit in order to start your business? Did you know that? Did you know that you actually can control what's on your credit report, which means that you actually can control what your credit score is? You can do that. Did you know that? I teach people that, but folks act like, let me tell you what I have uncovered and what my experience has been. Thank you, Dr. Don. What my experience has been with people around credit. First of all, a lot of people want to look like they got it. So the last thing they want is for somebody like me to know what's really going on in their financial situation. And not just me, bankers have this issue as well. People who are financial advisors have this issue as well, where you want to hide behind you want to hide behind the facade of wealth when you really are struggling. You up to here in bills. You up to here in poverty and lack. You got a 6-figure job and you still don't know what to do with your money. You still have not created generational wealth. Hey, Jasmine, thank you for joining, love. You getting bread and you spending it out. It's like you got holes in your pocket and you're afraid to come get some help. Doctors go through the same thing. People show up at the doctor's office talking about, I feel fine. I'm good. I'm good. I don't need no help, doctor. I'm good. You show up at the hospital having a heart attack when you could have said to the doctor, I've been having some symptoms, so that the doctor can help you get on the right track. You Googling how to lower your blood pressure when you probably past the point. If you're feeling symptoms of that, you're probably past the point of what Google can help you with. You need to see a doctor. Same thing with your money. You getting big lump sums of money coming in from different places, lawsuits, insurance payouts, death benefits. You did pretty well in your 401k, and you got this lump of money, and you try to figure out, okay, how am I going to make sure that when my children get to go, are ready to go to college, that they can do that. If you're going to send them to college, how can I make sure that when I leave this earth, that my grandchildren, maybe my great-grandchildren even, are going to be able to go to college if that's what they want to do, or if they want to start a business, that they can do that, or if they want, whatever they want to do, if they want to be citizens of the world. Listen, if you are not thinking about how the people who come behind you in your bloodline, how they're going to live, if you are not, I saw what do you call it? How to Get Away with Murder, right? I didn't watch that show when it was playing on a regular basis, but there was, in that first season, I watched that the other day, and there is this girl who wants to marry this guy, and Lynn Whitfield plays his mother. And she, the mother drew up a prenuptial agreement and had it sent to the girl. The girl is studying to become an attorney. So when she gets a call to come to this law firm, she thinks that she's being recruited for this law firm. And he like, nah, I'm inviting you here. I'm inviting you here because you need to sign this prenuptial agreement. Nobody had told the girl that's what she was coming for, and she was resisting it. So the mother shows up where she is to have this conversation. And Lynn Whitfield was like, listen, me and my husband built these stores. We opened our first store together when we ain't have nothing. And then we went to 10 stores. And then we went to 50 stores. And now we got stores all over the world. So do not think that I am going to allow my son to come in here and marry somebody who can just take this all away. I'm not gonna let my son's lust be the determining factor for our wealth. This generation, this legacy that we created, all these stores that we put out all over the world, my son ain't finna marry somebody that's gonna come in and just take half because he like her. It was a moment. Again, these things stand out to me. I'm looking for entertainment and I keep finding messages. Hey, Daryl, thank you very much for joining. I keep seeing the messages. If you're not thinking like that, even with no stores, even with the paycheck, you can't leave your job to your children. You can't leave your job to your heirs, but you can take the money that you're getting from your job right now and create situations for your heirs that you can leave for them. Anything that you leave behind is your wealth. Your legacy is now while you're still alive. The wealth is what you leave behind. Your legacy becomes a part of that wealth. Your people there should be a particular way that you expect your progeny and your lineage to behave. There is a statistic that says that most generational wealth is lost within 3 generations. Why? Because a lot of us have not done a really good job. Even those of us who have arrived, even those of us who have made it, have not done a good enough job of educating our heirs. We haven't put things in place. That says to me that you don't know what to do with your money. And that, if for no other reason, that by itself is why you should be in the money school. That by itself is why you ought to be in the money school. Y'all just let me sit here and talk up all my time. God dog it. Anyway, y'all done made me talk up all my time. Let me get back. Let me finish up this message that Jesus said. So what God has to say about that changing landscape is that the workscape is going to change. It changes all the time. It's a different work day when you're working from 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening than when you're working from 3 in the afternoon to 6 in the evening, then when you're working from 5 in the afternoon to 6 in the evening. Those are very different work days. That workscape changed throughout the day. And the hirer, the vineyard owner, the master of the vineyard had every right to do that. We live in a system and an economy that has changed. Accept that it has changed, y'all. Let that be what it is. Don't get caught up in the foolishness and the foolery of jobs coming back. They're not coming back. We're now in an age of information. Ignorance is a choice. We now are in a situation where we can create whatever world we want to have for ourselves, for our children. We can create it right now today. The decisions that you make today, you will see the fruit of in 90 days. Mark it, put it on the calendar. Look at what you do today and look at 90 days. When you look back 90 days from now and see the fruits of that labor. That's how the cycle goes. That's how it works. So start putting your plan into place. If you don't know what to do, ask for help. If you need help with your credit, I'm right here. I'm right here. If you want, listen, like I said, if you want to create something, and the only way, the thing that 100%, the thing that 100% of the world's wealthiest people have in common is that every one of them created something. That's what they did. They created something. They solved a problem. And that is how they got their wealth. They did not steal it from the poor people. What was that? That was another one. The rich keep getting richer, the poor keep getting poorer. This is Helen and Tom, with they laughing and ha 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 and all that other stuff. The rich didn't do nothing to nobody. That's not how this goes. That's not how this works. The poor have decided that they don't want to be rich. I got plenty of nothing, and nothing is plenty for me. I don't think I will ever forget that. That I saw that and I was like, what? Who does this? Who teaches this to people? Where are people learning these things? It is amazing. It is amazing. Anyway, y'all, I am going to have to go ahead and blow this here popsicle stand because my time is up. I have spent all my time hanging out with y'all today, and hopefully y'all got some good word up out of it. I hope that I have been able to help you. Again, let me make sure I got another class that begins on June the 15th. If you want to know how you can start the class on June 15th, just inbox me. Listen, people, inbox me. That's what the instruction is. Inbox me. So if you want to know how you can get your hot little hands on up to $150,000 in business credit, you need to go ahead and inbox me. I'll explain it to you. The other thing that I want you to do, y'all know I still want to help Black women become millionaires. I have said many times, this is not to the exclusion of anybody else, but I'm a Black woman. So it makes sense that I want to come to my own first. It makes sense. I want to help Black women become millionaires. Ladies, please hit me up. Let's talk about this credit situation. There's no reason why you can't do it. Again, like I said, you don't have to even have a business already. You can use business credit to start a business. I can show you how to do it. Okay. But I ain't doing it for free. I ain't doing it for free. Brain picking is $1,500. Just FYI. That's the new rule. Brain picking is $1,500. And I'm not sending invoices. I'm sending cash out up front. All right. Okay. Join the money school, y'all. www.facebook.com/groups/the money school. We teach the real truth about what money is and how it works over there, okay? We talk about personal credit. We talk about business credit. We talk about trading in the foreign exchange market. If you're not already following me over on Twitter, Periscope, and IG, then make sure you do that. On Twitter and Periscope, I am Gift2Broadcast. That's the word gift, GIFT, the number 2, broadcast. That is Twitter and Periscope. And over on IG, I am Celebrity Mary. Make sure you like my Facebook page, Mary Ellis-Golden Hearts Holdings. I've been trying to change the name of that to just Golden Hearts Holdings, and Facebook is holding my stuff hostage. I don't know what to say about them. Make sure that you are here every Sunday for MoneyFest Destiny. I do this every week at 11 o'clock. We do it again. I rebroadcast the same show on Sundays at 6 o'clock and again on Thursdays at 12 o'clock so that you can, you can ask your questions. I make myself available, so if you want to ask some questions, you can. And yeah, I think that's it. Share the video, y'all. Share the video, do a watch party. Y'all know y'all got people who need to see this. Y'all know y'all got people who need to know this. Share with your family. If you got a private family group, share this video in your private family group. Do a watch party. Have the conversation. I have had people ask me if I would come and have these discussions with their family, like invite me to dinner so we can have these conversations. And I've enjoyed those things. I'm open to that. Okay. Click any links that's in the box. Jamie said, I love you and there's nothing. You right, honey. I love you too. And ain't nothing you can do about it either. Click all the links. Again, inbox me for more information if you want to get started. And yeah, that's it. Like Jamie said, I love you guys. And there's absolutely nothing that you can do about it. Peace.